Once again, you are welcome to the discussion segment. This morning on ITV, your program of choice, and cruising on the wing of nationalism and you. On Nationalism and You this morning, we are going to be taking a look at the matters arising from the continuous detention of the train abductees since the month of March. With me in the house to take a look at this is a man that qualifies as an elder statesman, Chief Edozie Ezugwa. He is a president, Eastern Mandate Union,
Eastern Union Congress.
Eastern Union Congress, and a socio-political analyst. He is also a politician. You are welcome, sir, to our studio.
Thank you.
In a simple language, what does nationalism and you means to you?
Oh, I will, any time in my life, as long as I remain a citizen of Nigeria, helps to build this country as one united nation.
Thank you very much. The second person is Honorable Jonathan Isaac Onoja. He is a security consultant. You are welcome, brother.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure always.
And nationalism and you, what does that mean to you?
We have all onwarded to build a nation together that will last the test of time, and at the same time ensuring that the country we are hoping for become a national entity for everybody.
Now let us start from the trending issue. The Senate wants to impeach the president at the time when the president is at the departure hall. Your take?
Thank you so much, moderator. I don't think there's any time that late for them to do the proper thing. That's why their role, their responsibility as contained in the Constitution is to oversight the executives and other arms of the government. And in case on the process they found them wanting, nothing to stop them from initiating a removal process. Whether the president is about to leave, back and go and all those, but doesn't matter. Provided the law, the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria guarantee them the right to do so.
Very well. Isaac Jonathan.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, that I've seen it from a political angle, but bringing the security aspect of it, the call for this impeachment is giving him an ultimatum to save the country from the threatening nightmare, which is insecurity. I think it's long overdue. You did not issue this threat, or you did not take this move when a pregnant woman maybe was killed and the baby inside of her was taken out forcefully and that child was killed. You never order such impeachment process on him. And then at the same time, when people were kidnapped along Abuja, Kaduna, Aziz, nothing of impeachment or showing incapacity of any such on the presidential aspect. You see, when people begin to politicize the lives and properties of Nigeria, they look at the body language of the president to decide what to do, or the body language of the Senate president to decide what to do, then it does not longer call for, it's no longer security, it's no longer an assembly there for Nigerians. They are there for themselves. Otherwise, this call should have been on even before now, and the process should have been initiated from day one. When you see that capacity is no longer playing out, there's no responsibility of government being merged and all of that, then you see that nothing is holding grip anymore. You just have to let them go. But not now, it's too late, it's overdue. When thousands have gone, when we have fallen heroes on a daily basis, is now you want to come and initiate an ultimatum for the president? I think that is too bad for them, and to me is just a plain unintelligence of Nigerians.
Now let us take it a little bit further. There appears to be an aggravation. An aggravation in security attacks, you know, in bandit attacks, in terror attacks, as we are moving towards 2023. What do you think is the undercurrent for this increase in security onslaught?
Thank you so much. I might revert back to what my colleagues here says. The primary purpose of any government is for it to protect lives and property, and always to promote the social well-being of the community or the people or the nation. But never at any time is too late to do the right. Probably the reasons of issuing of this threat of impeachment maybe is based on the, accumulated offenses, the breaches of the Constitution, of the rights of the people, or government being incompetent or oversight to do what they're supposed to do. It was based on that, probably because when they now marshal out the point by point reasons where they want to impeach the president, that we can now look at it. Probably it might be accumulations, like you mentioned. So all these things protest one thing. It is better, yes. I cannot even accept that democracy.
No, again. If you look at the National Assembly yesterday, the working out itself, the working out of some of those Senate in protest that you don't want to allow us to move this motion and the rest of it presupposes that it was a politics rather than a National Assembly of a thing. Is it not likely that people, politicians, political actors, lots of organized crime that has hijacked political spaces, they are increasing national insecurity, increasing challenges so that they can come and play up a kind of politics of this nature? Yes. Because do you know that Abuja is rapidly shutting down all schools because of fears of politics? So this is why I'm asking. Take it together, please.
Yes. That is why I don't want to accept the fact that they are trying to play politics.
Okay.
In a civilized war, entire Nigeria would have woken up and go to the National Assembly and block that place and try pressure on them to do what they're supposed to do. The essence of electing them to represent us there is not to go there and sit down and wine and tea mornings and everything, and they have a lot of things to do. And to apply pressure on the executive when the executive try to veer off from their constitutional provision. Now, a few days ago, the government came up with ideas of shutting down schools as a result of insecurity, kidnapping those trained people they abducted up to now that are still in the bush, being released one after the other, depending.
We will come to that. Let me take Isaac, please. Mr. Isaac, your take on that, where he left it, that is the increase. Why the increase at this particular period we are drifting towards election? And why is it that the Senate cannot have a uniform voice towards the demand for the impeachment of the president?
You see the increase in criminality or in crime. You put it, side by side with the current happenings. And you agree with me that as we are moving towards 2023, political actors will want to have the side of talk. Some of them that use talks as some of their way to get into a position. They want to use the talks and then begin to procure arms for these people. And what they are doing is going to be a way of exercising or rehearsing what is going to happen in 2023. You cannot undermine that factor. But another thing you must look at again is that, you see, then this government came to power, and then the Boko Haram then said, we will make this government variable and we'll fight you down there, down to the villa. If you remember the statement, they were going to get you even from the presidency, we are coming there, down to the villa. Until they are at the last point of that, to actualize that promise, because it's a promise made. And they want to fulfill that promise. And that's why they told Mr. President, we will adopt you, we will adopt you. You understand it? And that is to show that these guys, they don't miss their words, they don't miss their target, when they promise you, they don't fail. And that is to show that they are responsible. They are responsible to an extent, because government to an extent is irresponsible. The responsibility of government is to protect lives and property. Isn't it? When they fail to do so, that means they are irresponsible. But these people are responsible to a point that they tell you, they promise you, we'll be able to get you down to the villa. And they are ready to actualize that. And then they have told the government. So you see, a lot of things will be hitting up the space to make sure that they actualize the space. And then to actualize these promises. And then look at what happened to the gas brigade. Trying to what? To let you know that you don't have the military might that can stop us from achieving our aim if we want to get to Mr. President. So that is a signal set. And this, all of this will culminate into 2023 to making sure that election did not hold, to making sure that a new government is introduced. What they intend to do is to introduce a new government. And once that is done, they have actualized their aim. They have actualized the goals. So I think government have been played over. Then coming to the National Assembly don't have the will to impeach Mr. President. There are so many things that, so many executive rascalities that is going on in this country that ordinarily should not happen. But it is happening because of the inability of the Senate or the National Assembly, which some of them are tagged as the rubber stamp National Assembly. So if we have people who can take decision and stand by it, then we would have had a better country. So while we blame the executive, most of the blame goes to the legislative, because their inability to take a decision and stand by it becomes a problem. And because of the division, they don't have a common interest for Nigerians. All they have is for political parties, how their political parties can stay in power. So it's no longer about Nigerians. And since the national interest is not there, that is why we are divided on ethnic grounds, on religious grounds, and also on political grounds. This is how we have been divided.
Now, let us now take a look, a deep look, a reflective look on our major issue of discourse today. From month of March till now, we want to pick up August. You know how many months? Only during this weekend, we were visited with an eyesore of the abductees being flogged, being tortured. This is months after they had been kidnapped. What is the constraint of our security forces that there had not been any drastic move to rescue those that have been abducted since the month of March? Elder Statesman.
Thank you so much. Let me say this. Like I mentioned to you before, what is playing out today at the National Assembly was accumulations of what happens in the past, and a threat even to our existence, most of us residents inside FC, that we can no longer be saved. People will be compelled to react. Don't forget that this is where the embassies of different nations reside with. There's a lot of things concerned. That when your freedom is being threatened, when your liberty is being threatened, you are seeing human being nature. You'll be compelled to react. So what happens at the National Assembly yesterday?
No, we are talking about the abductees.
I'm coming.
Yes.
I'm coming.
Yes.
I was trying to drive certain point. What happened at the National Assembly again yesterday was that what my brother mentioned. Politics. They wanted to proper politics with that. But there are some people who know that this thing is pushing toward the point of a crisis that we can no longer control. There's a limit to which you play politics with. You can't play politics with the, a crisis like banditries and the terrorists operating, posing a threat to our lives.
Not only to our life, to our national sovereignty.
And the national unity. So I feel that naturally you will be compelled to respond, react on that. But they went for executive section and discussed and agreed doesn't cut out within the party lines. They are collectively agreed, both the ruling party and the opposition. On the floor of the chamber, the Senate now the Senate president now decided to play politics with that. That's why you see the reactions. Inside them, they will tell you that it was a collective decision. This is what they have to do. But they're supposed, like you mentioned, they're supposed to do this in the past. For 7 good years, this country has been going through all kinds of trauma. Our nation is dying every day, every second. Are you talking about the economy? Are you talking about insecurity? What, name them. So
we will definitely come at it stronger. Yes.
The abduction you mentioned. How on earth, when you see a fellow citizen being flogged, being maltreated inside the bush, forest, just like that, posing a threat, and there's and another one having that audacity to attack the presidential convoy, coming very close to the seat of power. Then, for instance, the correctional center at Kuje, they went in and broke the other day, and escaped up till now. Nobody has been removed. No government have not come out with any actions. And remember, before you get to a correctional center, the prison itself, you have about so many checking points. The military checking point, the police and the prisons and all of them. How comes that particular night they are going to go for this operation, all the security checking points, no single one of them was there. They was totally removed. Then the bandits went and operated for 3 good hours. No any attempts, either from the guard, the security, the National Guard we have, guiding the city, or the police, or the service, or even the SSS.
Thank you very much, because we have limited times. Now, our security consultant, when that train was attacked, abductee taken, one of the people that were taken as abductee was the managing director of Bank of Agriculture. He was released almost immediately. Some people said he paid 100 million. Some people said we did not pay, we released him on the basis of another. What is the constraint that these ones that are being flogged a few days ago has not been released?
Well, there are so many factors or so many reasons that are concerning them not to have been released. The inability of their family members to negotiate to a certain amount could be a factor. Because some persons, when they were adopted, it was almost immediately they were released, like you said. Why is it so? Because they have the wherewithal with them. They know what to do. They know everything, the arsenals to go through. They have all the intelligence arsenals as who know how to negotiate with those people. Take for instance, when the Methodist prelate also was kidnapped, 100 million was made to be paid, was made known that they paid to be released. If these things were not available, then it becomes a problem. Even the gentleman, Honorable, the man that was flogged and then recently was released, was because of this, his inability. They just did that to show to the family that it's still within our reach. And then not until you pay what we ask you to pay, they will not be able to release him. So they do that as a tactics to let you know that we have control over the situation. We have control over the people. And if you don't pay this or you don't pay that, then it becomes a problem. They just that also as an emotional torture on the family to see that, because government does not care anymore. It's an emotional torture on the family. Seeing your brother or your husband going through this, you must go around the country to make sure you get any amount needed to release him. Now, going back to certain things, as generally the constraint, why our security, conventional security architecture is failing to mitigate these challenges. Number one, compromise, corruption, systemic and political corruption, affecting our political force to also mitigate these challenges. Otherwise, and we have lost the sense of intelligence gathering. Like my brother said here, just Kuje prison. This is Abuja Kaduna railway. When this was happening in Kogi, in Niger, in Benue, in Kogi, in Nasarawa State, in Kaduna, these are the suburbs of our federal capital territory, where we have all the diplomats stationed. This is the suburb of the federal capital territory, where we have all the military might stationed. There was no attack. There was no intervention. We talk about the Kaduna-Abuja railway. There is no air, as they promised Nigerians, there was no helicopter accompanying these people. These people took advantage of the lapses of government to operate for hours without any intervention. There were personnel in that same train. Are those personnel kidnapped? What is the position of the Inspector General of the Police? What is the position of the Nigerian Defense, of the Nigerian military? What is the position of the NIA? What is the position of the Nigerian of the DSS? There was no personnel. Are those personnel ghosts? Were they not equally arrested or were they not equally kidnapped as well? What happened? We have not seen any personnel make any statement. There is no statement from the military from the police, Inspector General of Police, whether those personnel were equally kidnapped along. Did they say they performed miracles and they escaped? That is to show that there's a what? There's a complicity, there's a compromise. That should require, that should attract a severe consequences. Because they say the consequences that is on the national security. This is Kuje prison. Less than 32 kilometers from the Inspector General of Police office, where we say was the police headquarters. This is Kuje prison. Less than 30 kilometers from the Yellow House, which is the headquarters of the DSS. This is Kuje prison. Less than 30 kilometers from where we have what we call the War College. This is the same Kuje prison. Where we have the NIA headquarters, less than 28 kilometers. This is the same Kuje prison that as we are applying the road from airport to see all of these military checkpoints coming, like he said. There was no intervention, and this guy even operated for about 2 hours, about 45 minutes, and even had the temerity to have a prayer section after they have done this, and even gave money to inmates to go to the various destinations. We don't have a national security. You cannot invite me here all the time discussing national security when we have corrupt personnel managing our offices in position. We cannot have anything called national security. When the commander-in-chief, who we should have that is a commander-in-chief, become a commander in confusion, because till tomorrow is the military is his constituency, and he has failed to protect the lives and properties of Nigerians. We come on every day, we discuss national security, and we have people who do not have the concept of what we call national security. We must decentralize our very centralized security architecture. Who has failed us? We must, anything you see, they say, Oga at the top. We must reach out to the Inspector General of Police before we do anything at the state. We must reach out to the DSS before we do anything at the state. They receive every command from the state. Every command is from the Federal Capital Territory. The diplomats soon will begin to go out of the country, or we're going to see a war.
We hope we will not get to that extent.
It is overbearing, because we have gone to that extent when a pregnant woman was killed and the baby inside of her removed and killed. That is the extent we have gone. Now they are demanding from Mr. President, and I have always advised him, he should peacefully, obediently sacrifice himself, because we have had fallen heroes. Over every day we go on parade, fallen heroes. Now Mr. President should sacrifice himself if they need his head, so that Nigeria can be peaceful.
You may not know the effort he is making.
The effort is insignificant to mitigate these challenges. This effort does not have any cost on anybody.
Why is it that those abductees, they were almost forgotten by Nigerians until this video of them being flogged publicly? Where is it? Because they are not sons of ministers, sons of governors, or what is it?
Because they are not children of nobody. Because they don't belong to the first class, the ruling class. Few days ago, the president left this country to Liberia to go and deliver a speech on security, national security. Of course, he's back. This is a country where his first constituency, Nigeria, is being harassed by ragtag boys, and he was sitting as a commander-in-chief. There's a lot of things, like my brother said. There's a need to begin to, conduct a very serious within the security system. Who is sitting on that? Who have refused to do what he's supposed to do?
Okay.
Please, I'm coming. The president must tell himself the honest truth. If he's there for a mission, please, he will quietly leave leave the seat if he can no longer perform. Because all his creation from the first day of his swearing in till today was a comprehensive failure, incompetency in every area, every department of governance.
Many people will disagree with you over that because yes, we are talking about now. Security challenges may be festering, but
are you talking about the economy?
The economy could not pay salary before he took over, but he's paying salary today.
Today the dollar is almost 700 naira. But when he took over,
but 29 states could not pay salary when he took over. But
that is it.
Nigerians are paying salary, are receiving their salary. Even when COVID-19 shut us in the house, he was paying salary.
Are you sure in different states they are paying salaries? So some of the states that
those things are not hidden.
No, I disagree with that. No,
that is what many people
look at the paper job. Because in my state, there are civil servants.
What is your state?
In my Benue state.
Okay.
There are civil servants who have not been paid for months.
For months.
For months, even up to years now.
There are some of them.
Isn't that not the problem of your governor?
No.
Some people said your governor always come to cry whenever it's all right.
That we are paying. So that's
okay.
So I give you that.
And we are no longer importing rice. Yes? No. Economy. He's talking about economy. That's why I'm bringing those in.
You are learned beyond things. And I believe you are very schooled to become to defend government.
This is not a defense. This is not a defense.
We're not importing rice. Now, let me tell you something.
Okay.
We're not importing rice. It's what we call cobra effect in economics.
What
the government has done is cobra effect. Because in their attempt to think that they want to solve the problem, they have rather created more problems. Now, what is your reserve when you close the border?
Yeah.
What is your reserve level when you close the border?
So that you can maximize productivity at home.
We are unable, when you do, there's in policy formulation, there are sequences of policy. Now, before you close the border, for anything called importation, you must have excesses to avoid inflation. Are you in me? You have not done that. You close the border, and your production is not enough to go around from circulation, and that created inflation. How much are you buying rice in 2014? How much are you buying rice in 2011? How much are you buying rice in 2009? Can you go to the market with less than 30,000 to buy a bag of rice today? The answer is no. I priced rice yesterday because mine is finished at 36,000 naira.
Did we do
a bag of rice? But when you say we are doing local production, and this local production does not complement the Nigerian system, or does not complement Nigerians, you are rather creating problems for Nigerians.
My brother, let me tell you one thing. This is the worst government I've ever witnessed in my life, my journey in Nigeria. And I'm very, very much disappointed. It would have it been that he could not perform based on economic and other things, but insecurity, if he has gotten it right. And don't forget, the essence of voting for him in 2015 was based on because he's a retired military man.
And he had a track record.
Had a track record and how to approach and attack the issues of insecurity and put it to the end. But it happens that it becomes worse.
Did democracy hamstrung him?
Worse. One is that Nigerians, we have to sit down and tell ourselves the truth. Because I believe that Nigerian military are more competent to take these guys out. But what is happening? Why is it that they are not? The idea is that there's a kind of one of the things people are keeping quiet.
One of the things the president mentioned in Liberia visit, one of the things the president talked about in Liberia visit is electoral discontentment fueling insecurity in West Africa sub-region. And you know, these particular security challenges are not pertinent to Nigeria alone. It actually started from places like Mali and the rest of it, the fall of Libya and Burkina Faso and that kind of a thing. And military has taken over in Burkina Faso in order to address security challenges. Military has taken over in Mali in order to address security challenges. Now, coming to Nigeria, is it that our democracy is fueling this insecurity? Because a police, let us listen to ourselves. The police we have in Nigeria is one single police, Nigerian police. They declared wanted a bandit, and emir conferred title on that and that kind of a thing, and nobody is coming out to address the nation at the hierarchy of the height of police or the federal government and the rest of it. So take on this.
Sorry, sir, Chief. You see, the truth of the matter is that Nigerians are too emotional when they need to, when they are addressing issues of insecurity. You see, you pay tax to the government. You pay a whole lot of things, even sacrificing your life for the government to protect you, just your lives and your property. Like the Bible said, just seek for him, seek him, and every other thing will be added unto you. Give us life, just protect our life and our property. The rest of the economy will become, stability will be there. Now, their inability, it was an irresponsibility of government to the people, to the citizen, that made citizens to begin to compliment the bandits. Why is it so? The government know very well that they are supposed to protect their lives. They could not protect their lives. The people came and took over the territory. Now, the Emir said, for it to become alive, for us to be saved, what they did was to what? To give the man a chieftain title who they felt that can protect them. It is wrong.
Call a cow, brother, so that morally, can allow you pass.
Morally is wrong. Yes, morally is wrong. But you know, yes, they are able to want to.
Our time, we cannot finish this topic today. Now, one word to the nation. Just one word.
My word to the nation is that His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari should obediently,
thank you,
leave the seat for a more competent man to have his glory on. Otherwise, he has failed.
Nigerians will tell you he will communicate his term. Yes, sir.
I quite agree with him. President Buhari should, at this hour, gives Nigeria that as a gift. Step down and leave, so that another person will...
Alternatively?
Well, I don't think we will have alternative other than that. There will be election 2023. That one is inevitable.
Almost 1 year to go. Can't we be drastic towards all of this thing and get it done? Thank you very much. We have been talking with Chief Edozie Ezugwa, an elder statesman, a political analyst, and Mr. Isaac Jonathan, a security consultant. It's been wonderful having you.
Thank you so much.
Without sovereignty, there can be no democracy. Let us keep our sovereignty and jealously protect it. That is what Nigerians are saying. Let us unite to defeat our common challenges as related to these security issues. Till next week, when I come on your way again on Nationalism and You. Don't change the channel. For more are coming to you from ITV. We entertain, we educate, and we inform you.